Earlier this summer, the Kansas City Royals and George Brett arrived at the stadium for a routine three-game series that we all know developed into the baseball rhubarb of the decade. Obviously, I'm talking about the George Brett Pinetar Incident. 5 things we know for sure. George Brett has pine trees tapped in his front yard. He hit a home run. American League President Lee McPhail ruled against the Yankees. A court ruling forced the game to its conclusion, and the Royals finally got the decision. What most of the viewers don't know is, what the heck is Pinetar? Steve Grad, can you help us?
Well, one of the most unusual and I would guess most fun for some people moments of baseball this year was when the words pine tar became part of the baseball language. And the man involved in pine tar and the famous episode is Royal star third baseman George Brett. What is pine tar?
Well, pine tar comes in a can like this. I don't know if this is the brand that the Kansas City Royals use, but a lot of people have been sending me different brands of pine tar. Pine tar is used by farmers, by horseshoers, by nurserymen, soap manufacturers, and various industries. And baseball players use it mainly to put on their bat to give them a little sticky substance, because a lot of times when you go up there and you play in weather like we have in Kansas City or play anywhere, it's to get a good grip on the bat. And what you do is you put a little of this pine tar on a rag similar to this, and then when the pine tar's on the rag, you might put a little bit up here, and then when you're on the on-deck circle or you're going up the bat, you get a little substance on your hand, and then you put your hands down here on the bat. Well, in my case, on the 24th of June, I believe. July 24th. My pine tar was about up to here, I guess, and that was a little bit too far. And at one at bat, I happened to hit a home run off Rich Gossage, and all of a sudden, for about a month, that's all I talked about. And I thought it was over with until Steve Grad came up to me and said, "Hey, we're going to do a little thing with your pine tar thing." And I said, "Well, if this is the last thing I'll ever have to do, I'll be very happy. So hopefully, after today, it'll be closed."
Well, I was going to say, how far would your career have been without pine tar?
Well, I would have to say I would still be playing in the major leagues. I probably wouldn't be sitting out here in 100-degree weather right now, but there's other substances. Manny Mota, for instance, sent me, Manny Mota's a batting coach for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He sent me a substance very similar to pine tar. It's a clear, sticky substance, and it comes in like a stick, and you rub it up and down on your bat. When we went over to Japan in 1981, the Kansas City Royals went over there to play 17 exhibition games. They didn't have pine tar over there. We used some type of a spray, a tough skin spray. So there's a lot of different substances you can use. A lot of players just use gloves, but I don't like the feel of gloves on the bat. I like to feel my raw hand on the bat. And without pine tar, there'd be something else that someone would have invented and I would have been using all this time.
I wish we had smell-o-vision, because this is a very...
It does smell good. I love the smell of it, too.
I feel like you're in the middle of a Pacific Northwest forest.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to maybe market these?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
The George Brett autograph.
Yeah. Now what they'll do sometimes, when they open this thing looks like chocolate syrup, kind of. And what they do is they just get a little, can opener, and they just pour it on there. And then when it gets on there, the bat boys kind of rub it in there real good, and they'll get it in there where it's, well, as you can see, as it soaks the whole rag. And this is a Major League pine tar rag. It's a great one.
Every kid in the United States who sees this is going to have to get batting glove, a mitt, baseball shoes, a bat, and now
pine tar.
Pine tar.
Pine tar.
So some guys haven't had good luck with that pine tar on the bat.
Well, I think when you first start out using pine tar, you got to know how much you want to put on the bat. I let Bob Uecker use one of my bats in batting practice in Milwaukee, and he went up there and he started putting pine tar, and I said, "Bob, not too much. You're going to put too much on." Well, this is what happened when Bob Uecker used my bat. As you can see, he got jammed a little bit and the ball stuck to the pine tar.
Well, thanks a lot, big guy, and to you too, Steve Grad. Hey, George, thanks again. I really appreciate that. I always thought that stuff was aftershave lotion. No wonder nobody liked me.